There are dreamers and there are planners. The planners make their dreams come true.
Planning for the future is important because that is where we'll be spending the rest of our lives.
This is what we are here for. Avenir 2021 is organized with the vision to empower and facilitate students to navigate their future and make their dreams real. Your hosts for this evening are Sienna of Class 10
and Gavri from Class 9 of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir. Avenir holds significant prominence this year as it is for the very first time that we go global and have student participation not only from the local Indian schools in the Sultanate of Oman, but also have students participating from other school boards like CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and the IB spanning across the MENA region and countries across the Southeast Asia. Avenir, a French word meaning the future or time to come, is a platform where students will be empowered to confidently make wise career decisions.
And as the Sultanate gears up and plans for Oman Vision 2040, may we all join hands in ensuring its glorious success. Oman Vision 2040 is the Sultanate's gateway to overcome challenges, keep pace with regional and global changes, generate and seize opportunities to foster economic competitiveness and social well-being, stimulate growth, and build confidence in all economic, social, and developmental relations nationwide. We see programs like Avenue 2021 playing a crucial role in the fulfillment of this vision by guiding and shaping the future of the youth.
Good evening, everyone. We wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Honorable Chairman, Board of Directors, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, and other esteemed members of the Board of Directors, officials from the Indian Embassy, Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President, Indian School Wadi Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the committee, presidents of all the participating schools, managing committee, all principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, and all the enthusiastic aspirants. We cordially welcome distinguished members of the business community, members of the educational cell, our sponsors, digital partner, media partner, and valued donors.
A very warm welcome to all present here virtually with us to this session on Day 6 of Avenir 2021, which is set to be a global 9-day career guidance program. We have chosen a different gemstone as a theme for each day with a significant connotation. Today's theme is the orange gemstone, choral, which represents musical intelligence. Musical intelligence refers to the skill in performance, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. People with musical intelligence have an ability to recognize and create musical pitch, rhythm, timbre, and tone.
This year, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir is proud to be the torchbearer for this mega event under the aegis of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman. Welcome all once again.
Dear audience, you are requested to fill in the feedback form posted in the chat box. And to our attendees who are viewing this session on YouTube Live, kindly use the link posted in the description box towards the end of the session. Filling this form is necessary as it would fetch you a participation certificate.
Today, we are honored to have with us an eminent personality, Mr. Vijay Bhave. Mr. Bhave is consultant pediatrician practicing in Goregaon, Mumbai for the last 32 years. He was the president of Goregaon Medical Association in the year 2003 to 2004. As a lyricist, music director, and producer, Mr. Bhave released his first musical album in the year 2013 with Gulshan Kumar Company T-Series. Since 2016, he has been regularly releasing music videos on YouTube and social media through Red Ribbon Entertainment Company and Times Music Mumbai. This year, in the second wave of COVID-19, he launched as a debut writer and director in a Hindi short film titled Nomophobia, which was released by MX Player on the revenue sharing basis. It premiered worldwide on the 5th of September 2021. Currently, he's in the process of producing a full-length feature film titled Green Tie.
Mr. Bhave is an avid cricket lover and a rebel at heart. He also contested in the Lok Sabha general elections in 2009 as an independent candidate from Mumbai Northwest constituency. He was instrumental in floating two organizations in 2005 to 2006, namely Goregaon Pediatric Forum and Medical Music Circle. He loves to read the column Speaking Tree in the English daily Times of India on a daily basis. He has done a lot of creative work, and it was possible only because of the extensive support from his wife, Dr. Vaijayanti, an anesthesiologist, and his family. A circle of well meaning friends and blessings of God have taken him to this level, and he wishes to go beyond. Now, I call upon our guest speaker for the session, Mr. Vijay Bhave. Over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you very much for a kind introduction, and congratulations to organizers AVNI 2021. And a big namaste to all and respected salam to all dignitaries present for this live international webinar. I'm truly honored by AVNI for giving this wonderful opportunity to showcase what I have done starting say in year 2006 and then 2013 and till today. And that's why the title Bhave to Bhave Prayog, a journey and beyond. As you all know that I'm a practicing pediatrician after birth, and I was reasonably academically sound in my studies, and I belong to a middle class family. So a person who is from middle class background and academically sound, naturally the parents expect him to join professional course, be it doctor, engineer, lawyer, or architecture. So with this background, they gave me option, and I took up the option of becoming a full-fledged MD pediatrician from Nair Hospital. And then I continued my private practice. And since the focus then was to serve children and earn name and fame in Goregaon, where I stayed all my life, and I continue to stay in that area. And I will continue to stay and serve people of Goregaon and nearby area. This opportunity to serve people made me aware that I do certainly owe something to the society, because when I see a child, I'm not seeing a child merely as a patient or a person who is going to give me a professional fees, his parents who would give me professional fees. I have to certainly look after his siblings, because the disease may be contagious or infectious, as you are all aware. And going beyond the call of duty, he may be a source of infection to other neighbors. So with this background of having something to give back to society, I had always that socialistic mind in me. It so happened that I became president of Goregaon Medical Association. That was that I had some leadership quality, was recognized by my some senior colleagues, and they said, since you are a person who enjoy playing cricket, cricket is a team game, and in a team game, when you have the ability to take the team with you, you can certainly lead Goregaon cricket team, and then subsequently, maybe if you want to, you can try your luck, and may we do well for Goregaon Medical Association. During this process of leading Goregaon Medical Association in year 2003-4, I realized that I have some friends, doctor friends, some juniors, some seniors. They were very good in singing. They used to love singing. Singing was their passion. I was not so musically inclined, to tell you frankly. I used to hear sometimes some bhajans, some ghazals of stalwarts like, say, Anup Jalota, Pankaj Udas, Ghulam Ali, etc., etc., Mehdi Hasanji. But I was not an avid music lover, to tell you frankly, nor I have seen Hindi movies the way Hindi movies are appreciated in India and all over the globe. But I had some ear for good music. Then I realized that these friends of mine, and that included my wife also, who is a practicing anesthesiologist, as was duly introduced by the students, She used to love singing. I found that this group of talented singers, vocalists, I call them, never had a proper platform to showcase their talent. Because if you have to showcase your talent, you need some people to sit and listen to you. And this setup was missing, and I decided that I should fill in that gap. I used to arrange their programs, and I used to enjoy the presentations given by my fellow colleagues. That was the organization which I floated, that was called as Medico Music Circle. With that, I continued with my academics also. I have not ignored until date. I still continue to go to attend my patients. Today I will be a little late and patients are going to feel sorry about it, but I think I can take a little liberty because this is also very important. I'm addressing to a huge receptive student population and their parents and the dignitaries who are present. So with this background and the flow of events, it so happened that the academic organization called Goregaon Pediatric Forum also flourished. I was a secretary there, and Medico Music Circle, I was secretary there also. And the organization started growing in stature, and we started arranging programs, be it academic, be it non-academic. And somehow I was able to do this dual role. You may call this little difficult, but one can do little extra work for others. Doing well for yourself is obviously expected as a professional, but doing little bit of work, little bit of benefit, trying to give it to some parents of yours, also adds to your credit score, if you have to call it in today's terminology. So with this process of arranging their programs, and I used to conduct those rehearsals in my clinic. I had a good space where we can do these rehearsals for the presentation. And the nuances of the sur and tal, what we call in musical language as sur sanskar. I got exposed to this sur sanskar through my own fellow doctors. They used to sing, and I used to get the sur sanskar. Slowly and steadily, after a gap of say 1.5 years, I said I would like to host those shows. The orchestra has got a comparer or a host, and I started hosting the shows. Because I was the show host, it was imperative that I would write something, say a 1-page, 1-minute story, and I would narrate that story between 2 songs. The story has to be precise. It has to be as good as what the speech these 2 girls have given. Wonderful introduction of mine. I was like shocked and surprised. Am I actually worth so much of praise? Anyway, moving ahead, I started writing in Hindi and sometimes in Marathi, because these shows were basically Bollywood songs and Hindi classical songs, semi-classical songs, be it ghazals and qawwali. And sometimes we used to organize even Marathi songs. That is why, being a comparer, it was implied that I would write text in Hindi or Marathi to do narration in these programs. Otherwise, being a pediatrician, I would write a prescription in English and explain the medicines to parents in Hindi or Marathi or Gujarati or whatever language or mix of languages to my patients and parents, so that they would go home and treat their child as per the dosage prescribed by me. But otherwise, writing in Hindi in Marathi was never done, and write never my forte, barring the examination that I have given, becoming a MD doctor in pediatrics. So because I started writing my own narration, it so happened that I started developing taste for writing. And during the course of narration, I would quote anecdotal events, what led to these words for this situation of this film song. These things are anecdotal events. They sometimes the audience likes it, because then the connect with the song which is coming up is easy. That's how I develop my own style of writing narration. And then I would relate the date of the program with the songs. Suppose the program is, say, on 25th of June, I would relate it with the events of the in the Bollywood film industry or the music industry. That may be a birthday of music director, notable music director Madan Mohan, whose birthday is 25th of June. 25th June, those who follow cricket, 25th June 1983, I will never forget in my lifetime. But that is where we won World Cup, the Prudential World Cup in England at Lord's under leadership of Kapil Devji. Certain dates have certain importance, and 25th June is one such date I also cherish, because 25th June is the date in 1989 I started my own standalone clinic in Goregaon, and I still continue to flourish in that the clinic of mine, a standalone clinic, so to say. Certain days, certain dates have their importance. So another date is 11th March. We had one first show of our doctors, a professional show, a ticket show for common audience, general audience, ticket paying audience on 2009, 11th March. That show also is very important and a lifetime sort of a remembrance for me. So with this narration process, writing process, slowly and steadily, I started writing poems. And that is where I would say the musical work of any person, a person may be musically inclined. Singing is only one part of it. Unless somebody has written some word on paper and that word is given a tune, the singer can't do anything. Singer is not a creator. He can be. There are people like Kishore Kumar who are multifaceted. But most of the times, words are written by a person that is called lyricist. The words and the flow of words and the emotion that is attached with those words and the situation in which those words are written. Keeping that in mind, the music director would give a tune that is called as music composer, or one another word is music director, and in Hindi is called as sangeetkar or mausikar. The lyricist, the one who writes the words, is geetkar. Once these words are given a tune, the sangeetkar would sing that tune with the orchestra that he would have. In olden times, this orchestra was live orchestra. In today's world, this live orchestra has given way for digital sound, and recording new songs has become little easier. But when you have electronic instruments replacing the original instruments, the liveness of the musical presentation will go down. But this is modern times, and to have highly talented, trained instrumentalists also is a difficult ball game. More so in today's time, it's pandemic, possible to have musicians around you in your sitting room or a room where music is made, or in today's terms, people call this jamming sessions. So from a musical point of view, is a work of music director, so you can have a career as a music director. Since the digital music has taken preference over everything else, still there is a scope for instrumentalist. And even though musical tracks, which are called as -1 tracks or IT tracks, on which the final recording is done by the trained singer or vocalist, as we call him. There is still scope for a musician to showcase his talent, and a musician playing his pieces, be it flute, be it violin or a group of violins, be it guitar, bass guitar, electronic guitar, Spanish guitar. These are all variants. You may be a rhythm player, you may be excellent a drum player, but then you will come in at a later date in today's musical world. And this, I'm talking about making new music. I'm not talking about live orchestra. Live orchestra is a different ball game. So please don't misunderstand my suggestion. This is a flow of events I'm telling you for making a new song. So therein, if you are good in playing some instrument, you certainly can put your musical pieces in between, and the recording is done separately, and the layering is done. So a lyricist would write words, music director would compose the song, then he would sing with his own rhythm patterns. Sometimes these rhythm patterns are available electronically on machine, or some of the electronic patterns are available even on your web, because you need a particular tempo, the speed at which the song will move, and the pattern of rhythm. So these two things are very important: tempo and rhythm. Every song has a tempo, every song has a rhythm. In Indian styles, it is called as Dadra, Kerwa, Rupak, Ektal, Jhaptal. In English notation, it is called as 3/4, 4/4, 2/4. These are little technical terms, but it's not very difficult. It's not rocket science that you will not be able to understand what is the meaning of 4/4 and corresponding the meaning of it in Indian context as Tal Kerwa. So the thing is, once you have put few lines, put them onto a tune, you have a scratched up in your own voice, that is my voice in case I am composing that song, then the role of a music arranger comes and a programmer comes. In olden times, the people who were waving hands vigorously in orchestra, they are the professional music arrangers. They are not simply waving their hand like nobody's business. It means a lot. It's all a signal. It's like a circus and an orchestra that he's conducting. He's conductor basically. He will conduct the orchestra. He will give suggestions for people where this instrument has to stop, at what level he has to stop. This conductor. This is, in other words, also called as music arranger. And in today's world, music arranger and a music programmer has become sort of a two-in-one, because everything has become digital, and whatever recorded sound in a tempo rhythm which I have sent to my music programmer, he would put that sound on his computer console, be it Logic, be it Nuendo. These are all the technical terms for making a soundtrack or a music track. So as a person, if you are well versed with computers and you can play these songs on a keyboard, the special keyboard that you need is called as MIDI keyboard. And that MIDI keyboard is useful when you are programming the song. So once I have given a tempo, a rhythm at which the way I will sing the song, and the scale or the pitch that is called as, there are various scales in which the people sing. The qawwalis are generally in a very higher scale. The ghazals are generally somber. The sad songs generally are a higher scale. Romantic songs are soft. So depending on the scale which you are presenting, what is known as Kali, Ek, Do, these are the Indian way of doing it. And C, D, E, F, G, F, A, B, that's the English notation. And they have corresponding values to each other. So Kali Ek is C sharp in musical terminology in the foreign context. This may appear or may sound little, what you call it, little cumbersome for people who are not used to it. Even I used to get confused when I started new. But then I was fortunate that when I started writing some new lyrics and I started composing them, because composing is something which is not taught in any school. There is no college or a school which will teach you how to compose a song, because it's all on the feel of the words and the flow of the words which dictate the tune that comes to your mind. And this, you have to be little lucky. I'm extremely lucky that without having absolutely any musical background, I do not play any instrument, be it harmonium, be it guitar, or be it any musical instrument. The tune can be made because it's the flow of words and the feel of words that you perceive. Once you have that emotion in you, somehow you can do it. How it is done, nobody knows. For unfortunately, there are no schools which teach this. But if you put your mind to it, and if you are exposed, and if you are sensitive towards anything, the sensitivity of the subject makes you do these things. You have to be sensitized toward anything. Once you are sensitized, I was sensitized because I was to do narration for these orchestras or doctors orchestra till about 2016. I did this orchestra as a comparer, and I used to read a lot of history of especially Bollywood music, and how people stalwarts like Lata Mangeshkar, Mohammad Rafiji, Kishore Kumar, Mukesh, how these stalwarts have struggled in their life to reach the status that they ultimately reached. It has not come on a platter to anybody. People like Naushad ji, people like S.D. Burman, people like Lakshmikant Pyarelal, all these music directors and the newer music directors, nobody has got it on platter, and nobody should get it on platter. Why? Because this is fine art, and fine arts you can't do easily. If everybody starts doing fine art easily, then it won't be called fine art. This is the bottom line. So as a career option, you have a chance of a music programmer. If you are a music programmer, you are a good MIDI keyboard player, you understand tempo rhythm. If you play keyboard, the same keyboard structure is there on a MIDI keyboard. Only thing is, in normal keyboard, you play songs which you know or which you have heard previously. Here, you have to go and expand your and show your skill to do programming for a newer song. And you have to have the understanding of the subject of the song, the lyrics of the song, and you have to choose appropriate tempo, rhythm, and the musical pieces and the orchestration needed in the background, in obligatos, that is the background sound which songs has got, which overlap the vocal sound. These are little technical things, but then as a career option, musical programmer has got a wonderful opportunity, because you are sitting in your comfort of an air-conditioned room. You are sitting in front of a computer console on your laptop with a MIDI keyboard, just like working in a corporate office, and you can do 9 to 5 job and still you can do very well in field of musical programming. Another aspect of music industry wherein one can target to do a career is field of engineering, sound engineering. Sound engineering is a vast field, a huge field, and always you need sound engineers. Our small recordings, when I started as a new producer, as a new lyricist and music director, and of course the producer financer of my project in year 2013, I came across studios in Goregaon and nearby area, Andheri and nearby area, ranging from 500 rupees to 1000 rupees to 1500 rupees to 2500 rupees on hourly basis. But Why they charge more or less? Because it is the mic and the sound recordist who is going to do the job that matters. Because what goes in, if it is good, the output would be also good. So there is a definite role of a sound recordist for recording new sounds. Not only he records the sound, once the song is sung by a vocalist, the sound engineer can definitely go ahead and mix the vocal sound after balancing the instrumental sound. And this process of recording a new song with a trained vocalist, he may finish the song in say 1 hour. Of course, a 6-7 minute song for a trained vocalist like Shankar Mahadevanji, who recorded for me in year 2016. That was a 7-minute song. But Shankar Mahadevanji, even though he is such a fantastic and a well-trained and an absolute fantastic human being that he is, but still he took about 45 minutes to 1 hour to record that song. The issue here is that role of sound recordist and sound engineer comes after this recording is finished. He is supposed to do balance the musical tracks, because musical tracks can be compared to a layer cake. Some of the musical tracks that I have done has some 60 musical tracks going on. So he has to balance all 60 of them. Then he has to balance the vocalist sound input. And then he has to mix these two. And then he has to master it to give me the audio final format. Of course, the role of singer cannot be overlooked in the whole process. Like in any film, be it Indian film, Bollywood film, or Marathi film, or a Hollywood film, role of a hero cannot be ignored. The ultimate hero when it comes to musical presentation is the singer. And obviously, his role is absolutely most important. Without that hero, without that singer and his song presentation, the song would lose its essence, because ultimately he is the one who is giving life. He is going to give the emotions to the words written by the lyricist, the composition, the tune that is made. He is going to put those emotions, the thought process of lyricist and the musical emotions that the music director has thought, and the programming which is done. He is going to put life into that. And putting life into something is very difficult. So role of a vocalist can never be ignored. He is top of the ladder. He will always remain top of the ladder. After this audio process of sound making is over, then comes the role of distribution. That is little technical and commercial. But from career guidance point of view, you have got so many options which are relevant, which are possible. One thing is very certain: you are young students and you have a bright future because you are studying and studying hard. Never ignore your academics, because this is one line, music line more so. Of course, film industry also is very fickle. Music industry also is fickle. It can really test you and test your patience. Getting a break in music industry is very difficult. You are growing up, you have dreams, everybody has dreams. I had dreams, you are having dreams. But to fulfill those dreams, you need steady professional academic excellence also. Unless you are sound academic background and not having a proper job for survival, the music output also is going to miss out, because mere struggling has got no meaning. And previously people would do that. There was times when people have come from far off places to Mumbai to find their foothold in Bollywood film industry. They have struggled for 10 years, 15 years, and then maybe they get one break. That much waiting is not possible today. So my suggestion, never ignore academics. Music, you may be passionate about it, very good. Follow your passion, follow your dreams, but give due and adequate importance to academics. Study well and have some job in hand, because you are all 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th standard students. In few years' time, you will be on the stage, in the world stage, so to say, for your career, because your path will be cut out. Simply relying on one career option for survival, more so in music industry, is bit difficult. My humble suggestion to most passionate music lover from the audience and all those who are listening to me, that you must focus on your studies and get some decent job for survival. I'm not saying try to support your family with your income. No. If you're passionate, your family is always going to support you. Most families today, most parents today allow their children to follow their passion, but they can be supportive to an extent. They can't go beyond that. So you have to also understand that your parents have been very supportive, but at the same time, they have also their own life to live. Their earnings may drop after certain years. They need themselves support from your side. So as an growing adult, 21, 22, 23, 24, at that age, it is better that you have a job and hand and simultaneously follow your passion. For my own journey from Bhave to Bhave Prayog, I had not planned this. It so happened that I started doing this work as a comparer. From comparing, I started writing lyrics. From writing lyrics, because I was exposed to new source, and I started getting sensitized towards the stalwarts of the Bollywood music making industry. Somehow, this sensitivity which was there within me, and looking at it from a different point of view, I started doing this. This was not designed, this was not pre planned, this was not what I had thought. But I have also suffered financially, also, career wise, also. And despite having a wonderful family and a very supportive wife, sometimes when you get carried away, which I got carried away, I must confess to you that this is one field where one can get carried away and spend money much more than what actually should be spent. I've done all that, but we all make mistakes. Without making a mistake, you won't realize what is the danger that is lying ahead in future. The whole message that I want to give is that don't make same mistake again. Listen to your family. You may have dreams, and as you grow, you will have dreams. And my title is Bhave to Bhave Prayog. And Prayog means experiment. I'm already 60 years plus. And at my age, most people don't do new ventures. But there are people who do a lot of new things after 60 also. So I fall in the other category. And as was introduced to you, that I did in month of June a short Hindi film titled Yeah, sorry for the interruption. There was some phone call from the patient. This was not planned, and this is my debut film as a writer and director, screenplay and dialogue writer, and a lyricist and music director and producer.
I mean, there are too many things I'm trying to do, but there is a caution constantly coming from my brother who is in America and my wife and my mother who are here in Goregaon. They are telling me, don't overstretch yourself. You are not getting any younger. But ye dil hai ke manta nahi. So this is the journey, and I'm, as was introduced, I'm in the process of making a full-length Hindi feature film, which is a Herculean task that's titled Green Tie. But more so on music line, I would suggest a word of caution: follow your passion, but keep in mind you have to have safety. You have to have look for red flags where there is lurking danger, where your career path is going downwards, and you are not achieving what you are trying to do. Because music line sometimes can really take you in a whirlpool situation, and you get lost in the whirlpool. Coming to the film that already I request people to watch this film, Nomophobia. It's available on MX Player. MX Player. It's a noted channel. I'm fortunate and blessed by God that my first film, debut film as writer director, was accepted by this channel. But again, here I would say I had a good team. I used to play cricket, so I know what is a team game. I led the organization called Goregaon Medical Association. There also, it was a teamwork. And then I floated these two small organizations. And then subsequently, I'm working for Bhave Prayog Infotainment. That is my own company, a small banner. Under that banner, we are making all these musical works. So from my side, be honest with yourself, be academically sound, and finish your graduation, have a steady job. Music field is always a good field. You can do many things, doing a good job, earning good money, and still passionately follow your music and musical hobby. Or I call it profession, because hobby is something which people sometimes take very casually. I am not so much giving allowing this thought of hobby. Hobby is little casual. That word somehow doesn't appeal to me. So I think from my side, I think this is more than adequate a monologue. So I'm again thankful to Avni to 2021 and Asha, madam, for giving me this opportunity to showcase my own talent, whatever little bit that I have got. I don't have much, but I work on spark, and sometimes the spark, as we call in Hindi, and now Diwali is approaching. Jyot se jyot jagate chalo, prem ki ganga badhate chalo. I would say that and stop my monologue. And if your audience has any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir. It was truly an enriching and empowering session. Dear sir, may I now invite our teacher moderator, Ms. Neha, to bring forth a few questions raised by our valued audience. Over to you, Neha ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I just want to say one thing. You are truly an inspiration. I mean, starting with, completing MD, being a pediatrician, along with a lyricist, music composer, director, and now you're also into writing and direction. It's just, I don't know, wow. So, yes, sir, we have a couple of questions. We have certain questions that are asked by our valued audience. The first question, actually, this was one question even I wanted to ask you. How do you balance your medical and your, the artistic, the music, and your film life? How do you manage them?
It's not easy.
That's what.
It's not easy, and it is risky. And there is a toll on my health as well as family. But still, you can do it. Support of family is very important. I always say that without family support and understanding wife, you won't be able to do anything. Ultimately, your friends will disappear, especially in bad times. Good times, everybody will join you for a party. But In your bad time, it is your only wife and mother and close relatives who would come for your help. But bottom line is, it is risky, and it is not. See, this golden middle path is very easy to say. It's not possible. I won't say that I have achieved it. No, it is not possible to have golden middle path. Let me be very blunt about it, that achieving golden middle path is not possible. I have wavered, I have been irritable, I have been erratic in my behavior, but that's the price that you have to pay to do something different. And as a famous cricketer, Steve Waugh, captain of Australia, if you have to do something exceptional, you have to come out of the comfort zone, but you have to pay the price. I have paid the price. Nothing comes.
I think it's about your passion.
It's not passion. I think it's not planned. See, the whole journey, my journey from Bhave to Bhave Prayog has not been a planned journey. It so happened. Only thing that I was bold enough to go to untenanted area where people would not go. People would say, why are you doing this? Many people said. The same thing happened when I contested Lok Sabha elections. Everybody was making a fool of mine. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have one more question by Soham Dubey. He asks, Sir, nowadays songs are remade on the olden classical songs, and there are very few lyricists remaining on today's music industry. So, sir, what are your views about it?
It's not that way. It's not that. There are trends in fashion. There are trends in musical world also. Remake or remix songs was a trend few years before. Again, it is going back. It's a circle, and things move in circle. What you have to remember is, you should know what is demanded, and you should be able to deliver to the needs of the situation of the song and what is expected in music director's mind and director's mind. As a lyricist, the bottom line is very simple. You may be given a brief on a subject. I remember there was one brief given to me, and the subject was, title of the film was Chembur Naka. Chembur is a very famous area in Mumbai, and that film title was Chembur Naka. It was a Marathi film. The project never took off. I know the director. I was supposed to do the role of lyricist and music director. They wanted a title song for the film. And he explained to me, director of the film explained to me, that the flavor should be to a song which is famous song from Satya, Kallu Mama, if you remember the song. I don't know whether you remember. Film Satya. And it should be that. And he gave me the brief of this thing. And I could come up with lyrics and the tune. The song has not come, but if you permit me, I will sing it for you.
Absolutely, sir. Sure, sir.
And it's in Marathi. I hope you understand. And it has got little slang language also. See, this is a modern song. And the song is something like this. Kon kutla re bhai mamu kaka. Kon kutla re bhai mamu kaka. Just bolla tar hawa kadun taka. YZ ko samjhao mere aaka. YZ ko samjhao mere aaka. Ilaka apna hai Chembur Naka. Chembur Naka. That was the Mukhda. That's the opening stanza of the song.
Amazing, sir.
It's on demand, basically. See, it's not my own whim as a lyricist, not my own whim and fancy. The director is the captain of the ship for that film. He has something in his mind and he gives you the brief. And you're supposed to write as per that and tune as per the mood of the song. I hope I have made myself clear.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much, and also all the best for your emerging feature film.
Thank you very much, and thank you once again to organizers.
Thank you, sir. We are truly grateful for your relevant, valued, and patient answers to all our queries. I'm sure the participants are enlightened and have got a true picture about the prospects available for them. Attendees, do remember to fill in the feedback form.
As we have come to an end of this session, I reckon it a privilege to put my gratitude into words. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express a profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower abundant blessings on His Majesty and this peaceful and prosperous country of our residence. We extend a heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Vijay Bhave. Thank you, sir. The session was truly informative and enlightening. It opened up new vistas in front of us. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Shivakumar Manikim, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman, and other honorary members on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Thank you, sirs and ma'ams, for your encouraging presence and guidance at all times. Our sincere thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, President, Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the committee for their overwhelming encouragement at all times. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our tower of strength and source of motivation, our beloved principal, Mr. D.N. Rao. Honorable principals of all participating schools in MENA region, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching community of all the participating schools for their support and guidance and active involvement.
We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor, StudyCo, gold sponsor, Chain Group of Institutions, Grey Matter Academy, Vellore Institute of Technology, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education, bronze sponsors, Middle East College Oman, Thapar Institute of Engineering Technology, Dallas Baptist University, MIT Wealthiest University, Pune. Digital marketing partner, Spectrum, media sponsor, The Arabian Stories, and valued donors. I wish to thank each and every student and parent for their valuable presence in making this session of our Global Career Fair Avenue Year 2021 a grand event.
An event of this kind, earnest and thank you to my ISWK team for working tirelessly behind the scenes and making Avenir 2021 a tangible reality. Before we leave, let me inform you about the upcoming sessions for today. From 7 to 7:45 p.m., we have 3 sessions. In room 1, Ms. Debati Bhattacharya with a workshop on writing a strong college application essay. In room 2, we have International Foundation Group StudyCo by Mr. John Butler and Abhijit Banerjee, a famous musician, talking on passion to profession in room 4. Thank you all. Last but not the least, I thank Almighty God for making this session a great success. Take care and have a wonderful evening ahead. See you all for the next session.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.